Hello out there, Del Shakes family. Happy Friday. My name is David Stradley, producing artistic director. I am in our office, so that is why I am masked. And I'm very grateful to be joined today by Bi Jean Ngo, member of our artistic quad and the director of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is free at Rodney Square for 3 more nights tonight, Saturday and Sunday, September 17th to the 19th, 7 o'clock Saturday and Friday, 4 o'clock on Sunday. So B, last night was opening night.
Yes.
I'm just curious, you were sitting out there in the audience last night. You know, your work as a director in theory is done once opening night happens. What was your takeaway from last night? What stood out to you seeing it with an audience enjoying the production?
Oh my gosh, so many things stood out to me about opening night. I just think, we've been rehearsing in Rodney Square in downtown Wilmington, and seeing the square come to life in such a big way was astounding. Usually downtown Wilmington and Rodney Square on the weekends has been really quiet, particularly since, the pandemic hit. There's been like very little life, and the cast, they've been working so hard and they've been running up these stairs in the heat. And, we didn't know what it was going to look like ultimately. Last night, seeing the entire cast just live and breathe in their characters, in their costumes, underneath the beautiful lights that Amanda Jensen created, with the creeping ivy with Christmas lights that Emily Schumann made, with Jonathan Whitney playing on drums and Ariane in the choir school singing, and then seeing all of the grass filled with audience members and their picnic blankets and lawn chairs and pizzas, sitting there and just watching our show. It just was riveting to me to look around and see that kind of energy pulsing throughout the square. It just made me really happy, and it made me see Wilmington and Rodney Square in a way I don't think I have been able to see. When we first saw the square, at the very first inception of this project, when we just took a tour of downtown Wilmington and looked at the square where we could possibly set our stage, I was like, oh, it's very concrete, it's very cold. And last night felt warm and beautiful. And I don't know if I thought the square was beautiful before last night.
Yeah, it's pretty transformative what happens out there during the show. So it's nice. All right, well, we have you were mentioning some of our designers already. You've talked about Amanda with lights and Emily with the production. And we also have Alicia, who did our costumes. We also have a wonderful ensemble of 9 actors that you've been working with over the last 4 weeks. And I just thought I would ask you to share some insight as to just what you have enjoyed about working with this team of actors in rehearsals over the last 4 weeks.
What's not to enjoy? This cast, they are some of the most generous, warm artists I think I've ever had in a room. Everyone just genuinely wanted to be in the room playing together, and giving their full hearts and authentic selves to their roles. We have a truly diverse cast in ethnic and cultural background, in age, in experience. Some have done a lot of Shakespeare, some haven't done as much Shakespeare. But everyone brought their A game every single day. And we had deep conversations about our own personal journeys as individuals in the world and how that informed character and how that informed a character's journey. So to have that kind of honesty and just willingness to play and to discuss big ideas was something that I don't know if I've experienced often enough in making theater. So it felt like a really powerful space to play in.
And it is very playful, and we invite you as the audience to come out and play with us. I mean, we're talking with Bi Jean Ngo, who is the director of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is playing free at Rodney Square for 3 more days. We have a performance tonight at 7, Saturday at 7, and then Sunday at 4. You can find more information at delshakes.org. You just bring your chair and we will do the rest. Sit it down out at Rodney Square with the rest of your community and enjoy this joyous, wonderful production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. So B, you said kind of the last thing I want to ask you about, you mentioned that one of the things you were trying to cultivate in this rehearsal process was just allowing everyone to bring their fullest and most authentic self to the table, particularly with Shakespeare. um, and you were doing so much of that for everyone else. I just am curious to ask you how you felt you were able to bring some full and authentic part of yourself to this process and this production.
Oh gosh. I think creating a space where everyone feels seen made me feel like I have an additional purpose that I don't know if I felt um I don't know if I knew that this was going to be an important part of me being a director, not only like making a safe space for people to be creative, but for people to talk about what it's like to be, a Latinx actor and have that opportunity to make Pyramus and Thisbe telenovela, what it means to be a Black actress embodying a queen like Titania and Hippolyta. So making space for everyone to talk about their cultural experience also made me feel free to talk about my own specific journey as a Vietnamese American woman, a third culture person. Um, and I openly discussed how, in making this midsummer, I I had so many like um, different training models that had come through that were Western, that were very traditional ways of looking at Shakespeare. And now at this point in my life, I'm like, how does playing a role or interpreting Shakespeare feel different to me because I experience the words differently than um, maybe a white identifying person might. I also had the joy of meeting Kenny Nguyen, who is our fight captain and COVID compliance officer. And it was a rare project where I had another Vietnamese American in the space with me. And, we were talking the other night about how seen we both felt and how rare it was to just even have someone else who had our specific parental immigration experiences. Um, and there's so many layers to like building a room where everyone feels like they can just really like be themselves and talk about everything in their lives, and that makes every character richer. We're not thinking about just the text and how the text lives, but how do our individual experiences inform everything that we do. And I guess because I'm often thinking about my family um, and generational ties and making sure that everyone feels like fed from the soul. I guess making a room to me was about like making sure that everyone felt comfortable and happy because that's what my family would do. That it's not just about getting together with a script, but it's checking in with everyone and seeing how they're doing in the day and whether or not they're happy and what's going on in their lives um, outside of rehearsal that I could be of service to in order to make them feel their safest, most creative selves.
Well, you've talked a lot about family, and certainly I hope that families of all shapes and sizes come out and enjoy this production. It's hopefully a production that everyone can find something in and connect something in, and just celebrate and enjoy what it means to be a human being in this space at Rodney Square. So one last reminder that we've been talking to Bi Jean Ngo, who is the director of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is free at Rodney Square for only 3 more days. So you can come out tonight, Friday at 7 o'clock, tomorrow, Saturday at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday at 4 o'clock. And you can find lots more information at delshakes.org. Bi, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your beautiful work on A Midsummer Night's Dream.